Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is a strategy RPG game released in 2005 for the GameCube. Developed by Intelligent Systems, it is the 9th game in the long historied Fire Emblem series. Personally, I'd only just started going to school when it came out, but I remember watching my older sister play it vividly on a small CRT screen back then. By now, I've played a lot of the Fire Emblem games, but Fire Emblem Path of Radiance still remains my favorite. But I'm not here to review Path of Radiance. I'm here to do my best to equip you, the viewer, with the knowledge on how to play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance as good as it can look in 2023. Now quickly, let's cover this video will and will not show. First off, spoilers for the game if you haven't played it before. They are kept to an extreme minimum though. The footage you will see running here covers the intro mission and the first 2 chapters of the game. Secondly, I will say this video does not give any kind of basic tutorial on how to use Dolphin emulator, which is what we're using here today, if you didn't know. There are plenty of videos covering this topic already. This video assumes the viewer has successfully used the Dolphin emulator before. What I will be showing is the settings I use to achieve what I call maxed out settings, along with how to download and install the other files needed to push the experience even further. Now without further delay, let's get this started. Now the footage you're seeing here is what you saw most likely the first time you ever booted up Path of Radiance on Dolphin. This is the game running at base settings, mostly, at 4:3 aspect ratio. Now I haven't found a perfect widescreen hack for the game that does what I'd want it to do, so I recommend keeping the aspect ratio at 4:3, which is the native aspect ratio of the game. Now let's break down what we're seeing. See how pixelated the 3D models in the game are? They don't look great in combat scenes either. The game is definitely looking a little decrepit at this stage, but there is something very easy we can change to give us a fantastic boost to the quality of the models with extreme ease. Now here I'm going to pull up my Dolphin client, click on the graphics button, go to enhancements and change the internal resolution setting to the 3x native setting. Let the game load for a minute and boom, now the 3D model is looking far less pixelated. Changing the internal resolution is the quickest and best way to get a boost to the graphics of this game in Dolphin. But this is just the scratching on the surface. Let me change some of the settings around here, add in a fan-made HD texture pack, and now let me show you my maxed out settings. Now we've changed a lot of things here, so I'll let you soak it in. Take a look at the same scene, with Ike fighting Boyd, and notice the difference in the quality of the 3D models, the portrait, the icons, and text. It's quite the uplift, isn't it? Now let's break down what I've changed in order to reach these visuals. Let's go back to where we were with the base settings, but internal res at 3x native. Let's start turning things up. Now first up, we're going to crank internal res to the maximum at 8x native. Next, we're setting anti-aliasing to 8x MSAA. Now don't turn the setting any higher, because it will crash your game. I don't know why, but 8x just seems to be the cutoff point for this setting. Then we're turning our texture filtering to 16 times anisotropic. I also think I have some other settings turned on as well, like per pixel lighting and vertex rounding, that aren't turned on by default. You can turn these on if you want, but they don't really massively change the presentation. Finally, for our secret sauce, we need some outside help. We're going to let Dolphin load custom textures here, so that we can use that fan-made HD texture pack I talked about earlier. And this is our end result, our maxed out settings for Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Now I know, some of you are going to want some help with installing that HD texture mod, and don't worry, I'll be showing you how to do it. It's quite easy. But for right now, I'm going to let some of this footage roll so you can focus on the visuals for a bit. If you want to skip straight ahead in the video for the tutorial on how to install the texture pack, I don't mind. But for now, I'm going to stop talking and pull up a side-by-side comparison and let this run for a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. Now it's time to tackle how to install the HD texture pack for Path of Radiance. So I have a link to the webpage you need to go to in the description of the video and in the comment. Click the link and it'll take you there. Now you can click this Google Drive download link. It'll open a new tab and take a bit to load. Just wait until it finishes, and it should ask if you want to download anyway. Click to download, wait for the download to finish. Then we take the finished file, we're going to put it in a certain folder. First we need to find our app data folder. So if you're on Windows, you can just hold the Windows key and press R, type in what you see here, %app data, all caps, %, hit OK, and you should be taken to the right folder. Find your Dolphin emulator folder within that, then we go to load textures and put the file in there. Once that's done, you just boot up Dolphin again, enable load custom textures like I showed you before, and it should be working now. Now I'd like to mention if you want to play in the 16:9 aspect ratio, you can, just don't use the widescreen hack setting in Dolphin, because it does present some very noticeable visual pop into the game. If you play in 16:9 ratio, everything is going to be stretched, but honestly, if you've never played Path of Radiance before, it shouldn't be jarring to you, especially if you really want to use that setting. Also to add in here a note on what kind of graphics card you're going to need to run on this. In my rig I have a 4070 Ti, and yes, I know, chances are you don't have that exact card or something similar. But I'll tell you, if you turn down the internal resolution setting down to something more reasonable, like 5 or 6x internal resolution, I would expect somebody with a decent 2000 series NVIDIA GPU or a lower end 3000 series to still be able to run this at a very beautiful level of quality. Alright, well that covers how to make Fire Emblem Path of Radiance as good as it can look in 2023. And on one more note, I do have a no commentary playthrough of Path of Radiance using Dolphin on this channel, but it's not using the quality I've shown that can be achieved here. I am interested in doing a live stream permadeath playthrough using this level of visuals on the channel someday soon though. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel, see my videos and live streams in your YouTube feed. And I also ask if this video is helpful or interesting to you. A thumbs up would help this video reach even more people. With that being said, this has been kbps. Thank you all for watching, and peace.